Hey everybody, Sarah here. So today I'm going to be doing a video that was requested that is giving you guys an explanation of what all of the combination morph names are. So a lot of you have probably heard names like Snow and Peppermint, which are usually a little bit more straightforward, but sometimes they get confused for things like Sun Glow or Candy Cane. So today I want to go over the morph combination names, at least some of the more common ones, what those combinations are. Really quick, this is Sarah in editing. I want to specifically thank William Schmidt for being our first well-started member. We now have two membership tiers. The first tier, which is the one that is for $2 a month, is called the Neonates, and we now have a second tier called the well-started tier. And so you guys will get a few extra perks, especially polls that will vote on what I name my snakes. And that first poll is actually up on my community tab right now. So if you would like to join the well-started tier, you will be able to vote on what I name my green-blotched snow corn snake that I hatched last year. Thank you so much, William, for just jumping in and being the first one to do that. I really appreciate you, and I of course appreciate all the rest of the members as well. If anybody else would like to be a member, it's very similar to a Patreon. It just goes through YouTube instead of taking you to a different website to do everything, and it helps support the channel. So if you would like to do that, you can click join under any video. Also, I have a website, sarahsnakeshop.com, where I sell corn snakes and corn snake accessories. So if you would like to check out what I have available, I have a lot of very cute and adorable yearlings left over from last year. So if anybody is looking for a very well-established pet, I have a few available. So please check that out if you are looking. I'm mostly going to be getting my information from iansvivarium.com, so if you would like to check that out, they are an awesome resource for anything morph related. You can click on any morph name combination and it will give you an explanation of what that is. There's also a genetics calculator on there, so definitely check out Ian's Vivarium. I'm not like paid or anything to talk about them. They just are, that's where I learned the majority of what I know about corn snake morphs, and so I definitely think that they will help you guys as well. This is not necessarily in any like alphabetical order or anything like that. I'm going to start out with Peppermint. Peppermint is the combination of amelanistic and cinder. I've talked about this off and on in the last couple of videos. I'm not going to go into detail about what all of these morphs do. Next mix I want to talk about is Carbon, which is anerythristic, and Charcoal, which is anerythristic type B. So it's a combination of anerythristic type A and anerythristic type B. The next common one is Moonstone, which is anerythristic mixed with lavender. Another common one is Blue, which is dilute mixed with anerythristic, and they do sometimes have a little bit of a blue tone to them, obviously, which is why they got their name. However, more often than not, they are not really that blue color. However, despite that, they still retain the name Blue. Amber is another one, and that is caramel plus hypomelanistic, so a lot of yellows, no reds, and kind of a reduction in that melanin. Alradum is a combination of amelanistic and toffee, so they obviously have no melanin and they're going to be a bit more orange with few reds going on. We have Butter, which looks somewhat similar, and that is going to be caramel plus amelanistic. Diamond is a relatively uncommon one because it's so difficult to produce, but that is the combination of charcoal and lava. I do have a video on why diamond is so difficult to produce. It's a really old video, so don't judge me. I didn't have the editing software and stuff like that I do today, but if you would like a very somewhat detailed explanation, I will link that video in the corner for you. Fire is another one that is amelanistic and diffused. Diffused is going to have no belly checkers and a sort of lacking of a pattern on the sides of the snake, with obviously the amelanistic in there as well. Ghost is another one, and that is going to be hypomelanistic plus anerythristic. So again, you have no reds and kind of a reduction in the blacks a little bit, so it's mostly going to be a gray snake. Honey is one that's pretty common, and that is Sunkissed mixed with caramel. So obviously we know caramel. Sunkissed is a hypomelanistic mutation. Sometimes they can be a little dark for a hypomelanistic mutation. It's a mixed sort of a pattern mutation and a pigment mutation, both at the same time. We have ice, which is anerythristic plus lava. Lava, again, is a hypo type, and so if you mix anery with that, you get mostly gray. We have a lava mel, which is surprisingly the combination of lava and amel. They mostly just look like amelanistics with a little bit more of a brighter color to them. Almond is the combination of lavender and caramel, not named so because it resembles an almond, oddly enough. Actually, it was named that because amaretto was the name of the lavender, caramel, and hypo combination way back in the day, and it did have a very amaretto sort of creamy color look to it, but then when you take away that hypo, it doesn't really look like an almond, but that's what we settled on because amaretto is an almond flavored liqueur. Mandarin is the combination of amelanistic and castagna. Sometimes this is also called flamingo if it is from Okati lines as well. Opal is the name for amelanistic plus lavender, and as babies these are usually very pink, and then they kind of grow up to be a very usually white and almost appear patternless, but sometimes they can have a little bit of that pink retained in adulthood. We also have orange, which is the combination of amelanistic and buff. It's going to look very similar to erratum, which is the amelanistic and toffee combination. So we have orchid, which is lavender and sun-kissed. So again, we have that lavender color and that very cool sun-kissed pattern going on. There's also persimmon, which is lava and castagna. Pewter is the combination of charcoal and diffused. And while we're here, I want to mention granite, which is the combination of anerythristic and diffused. Phantom is the combination of charcoal and hypomelanistic. And plasma is the combination of lavender and diffused. Again, these are really not in any particular order. They're mostly just in the order that they are listed in Ian's Vivarium. So if you're kind of confused as to why it seems like I'm jumping around, that's why. Snow is the combination of amelanistic and anerythristic. This is probably the most common combination out there. Solar is the name for sun-kissed and sunrise combined. Topaz is the combination of caramel and lava, and ultramel is the combination of amel and ultra, which is actually het amel, het ultra. I'm not going to go into details on why that is. I did do a video on it. I'll link it up above if you'd like to go watch that. Sun-kissed cinder is called shatter because of the shattered looking pattern. So pink is the combination of amel and dilute, so that's sort of going off of the blue, which is the dilute and anery. Dilute and amel is called pink. Also, hypoberry is the name that we call the combination of hypomelanistic A and strawberry. So it's very similar to your amel and ultra. So if you are curious about how hypo and strawberry mix together, they have a very similar relationship to amel and ultra if you go watch that video. Those were all of the sort of double mutation combinations that I could think of. If you guys can think of any more double combinations that I missed, please let me know in the comments. And I plan to do another video like this in the future on the sort of more additional combinations. So some people want to know about like coral snow. I will be talking about that in a future video, things like that. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to subscribe.